Hi, this is Melissa with Fox and Fig Knits, and I'm going to share with you how to do German short rows. Now, I've worked in this pink yarn, I've made a stockinette swatch, and now I'm going to use this gray yarn to demonstrate the German short rows and let it be a little bit easier to see. So first we're going to go ahead and work up until we want to make our first short row, which we'll just go ahead and do right here. So we're just knitting all the way up until our part where the instructions will tell you to go ahead and turn. So that's what we're going to do first, is turn. Now, keeping your yarn in front, go ahead and slip the stitch you just worked back to your right needle. Pick up your yarn, and now we're going to go ahead and you can tighten that up, but also we're going to pull up, and you'll see that that brings up two legs of the pink yarn, and that's what is referred to as a double stitch with German short rows. You want to create this double stitch to tighten the fabric and make your short row. So now with our yarn up here fairly tautly, we're going to go ahead and bring it through or between your needles. We want to really bring it back to the front because we're going to go ahead and purl across to make our next short row. And we're just going to work a few stitches until we make our next short row, let's say after this one here. Now again, the instructions are going to tell you to go ahead and turn, so we'll do that. And now again, we want to bring our yarn to the front like that, and we're going to slip this stitch back to the right needle, the one we just worked. So this is a knit stitch slipping to the right needle, and just as we did before, we're going to pull up, and that exposes these two legs again. And now with the yarn already in back, because we want to go ahead and work our knit stitch, we'll just keep knitting. And you'll see right here we are going to encounter the first short row we made. Oops, right here. Sometimes it's a little confusing, but it's the stitches here in the back. Remember, that's the double stitch that we made, not the front legs here. So we'll go ahead and we want to work these two this double stitch, these two legs, as if it were one stitch, and the action is really just the same as like a knit two together. So you go ahead and basically knit them together as if it's one stitch. It always counts as one stitch. And go ahead and we'll knit two more, and let's go ahead and turn again, making sure our yarn is in front. We will go ahead and slip this stitch back to the right needle again and pull up, make those legs, bring it between your two needles, and now go ahead and purl across. So we just showed how to resolve the double stitch on the knit side by doing a knit two together, and on the purl side it's basically the same thing, only you would purl two together. Again, it's not really a decrease and it's not really a purl two together, but it's the same action. And here you go, you can see it right here. Again, it's these kind of two top legs, so we will go ahead and insert our needle, purl two together like so, give it a little pull, and then continue on until we want to turn again. Let's go ahead and turn here. Sometimes you have to tighten it up a little bit, and we will go ahead and make this stitch again. So bring your yarn to the front, slide the stitch you just worked to the right needle, pull up, bring those legs up, and now we're going to just go ahead and knit because our yarn is already in the back, and we'll continue knitting across. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish this row, which means we're going to have one more double stitch to work on this side of the work, and you can see it's right here. So this is a knit two together because we're on the knit side, or the stitch is a knit. This is a great technique to use with ribbing also for short rows, and that's actually how I used it in this project. You can see here in the back the Merrymere Cowl. And then when we're all done with our row, I want to show you how you can see this gray yarn has made this shaping here in the middle, and that is how you can kind of make a funny shape, or shaping to fit a body, like bust darts, whatever you want. These are used in heels, sock heels, lots of projects. So basically you would just continue working however the pattern instructs you. And I want to show that also, there's always going to be this one extra double stitch that needs to be worked. So you'll either work that in the round, if we were coming through here, that was how your pattern would read, and you would go ahead and knit it together on the knit side, or you would turn your work again and work back another flat row, and when you got to that double stitch, you would go ahead and purl it together. And that is how you work German short rows.